DreAllDay.com.
Before we start, please like and comment on this video so I can get your feedback. Also, click that subscribe button so you can get all the new content I'm dropping on this channel. And the free book, the mental handbook, physical book, Work on Your Game University, just take care of the shipping and handling, send this right to your doorstep. Let's get started. What's going on, everybody? Dre Baldwin, DreAllDay.com. Today we are back. NBA season previews 2017. The next team we discuss, the Boston Celtics. Boston finished 48-34 last season in a five-way tie with the Heat, the Hawks, the Hornets, for a four-way tie with the Heat, Hawks, and Hornets at 48 wins for the third, fourth, fifth, and sixth seeds in the first round of the playoffs. And the Indiana Pacers weren't far behind with 45 wins. So let's look at the Boston Celtics roster and see what we think. More what I think, but I'm going to say what we think for this upcoming season. The Boston Celtics are excellently coached by Brad Stevens. Brad Stevens came out of, I forget what school he was coaching. Was he coaching Creighton or was he coaching, I don't even know why I said what team he was coaching. I don't even remember who he was coaching in college, but it doesn't even matter because he's coaching the Boston Celtics now. He's done a great job with the young guys that he's had help build this team up, make them a rugged team. They have an identity. They found themselves some leaders, and they made themselves better in the offseason. So let's start by looking at their roster. Avery Bradley, who is a strong, hard-nosed guard who has gotten better in his offensive abilities, still one of the best defensive guards in the NBA. He's still only 25 years old, and Avery Bradley is athletic enough, strong enough to guard ones and twos in the NBA. Jay Crowder, a guy who's on a perfect team. He's on a perfect team for being a hard-nosed guy who can play both forward positions, strong enough to get down there and bang, also athletic enough to get on the wing. He can hit that outside shot. Great position player. Great position. When I say position, I don't mean small forward, power forward. I mean the position he's in on this roster at the right time with the right coach. Jay Crowder fits perfectly. Gerald Green is a new addition to the Celtics roster. He's been on Boston's team when he first came in the league. Now he's back on the Boston Celtics roster. I think he's going to work out great under this coach. Brad Stevens is going to find a way to use Gerald Green perfectly. So I think he'll be great on the team. We'll come back to their addition of Al Horford. R.J. Hunter, guard coming into the league. I think this is his second year in the league. Let me see what R.J. Hunter did his first year in the NBA, if he got a chance to do anything. He averaged 2 points a game. Now, he didn't really get a chance to play much. Only played 8 minutes a game. Only played in 36 games. He did play in 5 playoff games. Didn't get a chance to do much of consequence. Didn't get too many minutes. But I think he will slowly develop himself. Probably going to spend some time in the D-League this year. Jonas Jerebko, another wing guy, wing big hybrid guy who can hit the outside shot. And another guy who I think is on the right team at the right time with what Boston has going on. He's 29 years old. Amir Johnson, solid veteran guy. Another one who seems to have been around forever, but he's still only 29 years old. On the right team at the right time with the right coach. I'm going to say that about a lot of players on this team. Kelly Olynyk, another player who fits into that. Marcus Smart, young guard, 22 years old. 22 years old still. 6'4", can score the ball, can hit the outside shot, can play very, very tough defense. Him and Avery Bradley, two hound dogs on the defensive end at the guard position. James Young, who has spent much time in the D-League, really showed a lot of promises here at Kentucky. So I think eventually he's going to get a chance to do his thing. He's going to have to develop that outside shot, make sure he can hit it, make it consistent, and step his defensive game up and fit into the team concept that Brad Stevens has going on. And then Tyler Zeller, 26 years old, big man. And Isaiah Thomas, the straw that stirs the drink, 27 years old, only 5'9" inches tall. The guy will go at anybody. He is the leader of this team, was the emotional leader and the actual on-the-court skills guy, leader for this team last year. 22 points a game, 6.2 assists, 3 rebounds, 21.5 PER. This guy is hell on wheels, Isaiah Thomas, and he plays hard. The team loves him. He fits perfectly into the DNA of Boston, fits perfectly into what the coach, Brad Stevens, has going on. Perfect team, right place, right time, Isaiah Thomas. In the playoffs last year, his minutes went up to 37 minutes a game. His field goal percentage was a terrible 40% from the floor in the playoffs last year, only 28% from three. His shooting, he just lost his shooting touch in the playoffs. His free throw percentage even. During the regular season, he shot 87% from the line. In the playoffs, he only shot 81% from the line. And this is a guy shooting 6 to 8 free throws a game. So this is a big difference. These playoff percentages that I'm pointing out to. His assists went down from 6 assists a game to 5 assists a game. His steals went down by about a half of assist a game. His fouls went up by 1 a game. His points actually went up in the postseason, but he had to take more shots to do it. He shot a much lower percentage in doing so. His field goal attempts went up by 3 per game. He shot 2 more threes per game. A free throw plus more per game to get those points. I think overall his lack of efficiency, his decreased efficiency in the postseason is probably the difference in wins between 1 and 2 wins during that postseason series against the Atlanta Hawks. They could have won that series had Isaiah Thomas been a more efficient player. But I'm not saying all this to trash Isaiah Thomas. I'm saying all this to say he is the straw that stirs the drink. So when he doesn't play great, that pretty much means the Boston Celtics are not going to win. And he didn't play great. He played well. If you looked at his stats, you would say, damn, he was killing. He's the best. But he didn't play very well compared to what he did during the season. And if that your best player, the straw that stirs your drink, has such a drop-off in efficiency in the playoffs, that's going to mean a loss for your team. It's kind of like what happened with Michael Jordan when he came back to the Bulls in '95. I know many of y'all wasn't even alive when that happened. But anyway, looking at this roster overall, oh yeah, we forgot their big addition, Mr. Al Horford. They signed him $26.5 million a year. We know Al Horford's work. He's been in the league for 9 years. The guy has just turned 30. He'll turn 31 he'll turn 31 in June next year. So are the Celtics making the finals? Maybe he'll turn 31 while they're still playing. 15 points, 7 rebounds, 1.5 blocks. Al Horford is a respected veteran. He's been on some teams that I wouldn't even call the Hawks contender. I don't think the Hawks were ever a real contender, but they have been competitive. They've been a competitive team that's gone to the playoffs year after year after year. Al Horford has been a mainstay on those teams. He will be a respected voice in his locker room. He's a guy who doesn't appear to have so much ego. And I don't think if he had a lot of ego, he would have signed with the Boston Celtics. We're just looking at the way this team conducts itself. He's going to fit in perfectly. He's going to make this team better. He's not going to take anything off the table. So they went from losing in the first round in 6 games to the Hawks to him actually being on the team. I say the Celtics get past the first round this year. They are going to get past the first round. I think they can compete, definitely can get that 3rd seed. I know I said in the earlier video that the Hornets could get the 3rd seed, but now that I'm looking at the Celtics roster, the Hornets are not going to get the 3rd seed. The Boston Celtics are going to be a top 3 seed in the Eastern Conference, and I really believe that the Toronto Raptors, who won 55 games last year, very well could lose that number 2 seed in the Eastern Conference to the Boston Celtics. I think the Celtics can get the number 2 seed in the Eastern Conference. I don't think they're going to get the number 1 seed. I think the Cavs are going to get the number 1 seed, but I think Boston could take the number 2 seed from the Raptors in the Eastern Conference this year. And I very well believe the Boston Celtics could, and I'm going to say this about more teams than it is mathematically possible for it to happen, because I said it about the Indiana Pacers is who I said it about. Indiana Pacers. Not the Hornets. The Indiana Pacers was a team I said could get that top 3 seed and beat the Raptors in the playoffs. I think the Boston Celtics can get a top 3 seed and beat the Raptors in the playoffs. And I think the Raptors could get a top 3 seed and make it to the Eastern Conference Finals again. So I think those 3 teams are the 3 teams that I believe are most in contention for that Eastern Conference Finals matchup with the Cleveland Cavs, who I do think the Cavs are going to finish as the top seed in the East. And they're going to be in the Eastern Conference Finals playing against, it could be the Raptors, it could be the Pacers, it could be the Celtics. Maybe the team we're going to talk about next, who is the Atlanta Hawks. But I like Boston. I like Boston the best. I like Boston the best as the team to challenge for that number two position in the East. And I say number 2 meaning the actual seed number 2, and also number 2 meaning playing against Cavs in the Eastern Conference Finals, no matter what seed they end up in the playoffs. I think Celtics are going to be the team that the Cavs will be facing. And I think that's going to be a series. That would actually be a series that the Celtics and the Cavs play. I think the Cavs will win, but I think it'll be a series. And this is with everyone healthy, rosters looking somewhat like they look right now for both teams. Yeah. This Boston team is the up-and-coming team in the Eastern Conference, in my opinion. They are the up-and-coming team, not the Raptors, not the Cavs. The Cavs are already up. They won the championship. They got the best player. But the Celtics are the up-and-coming team, in my opinion. So that's what I got to say about Boston. What do y'all think? Questions, comments, concerns, praise, criticisms. Who do you think is better than Boston in the Eastern Conference? Toronto fans, we're going to get to y'all soon. We got a few more teams before we get to Toronto, but I do think the Celtics can dethrone the Raptors as the number 2 team in the East. I guess you can't even call that a throne. But anyway, y'all get what I'm saying. questions, comments, praises, concerns, criticisms, leave them down there in the comments of this video. The next team we talk about, we are still in the Eastern Conference. That log jam is the Atlanta Hawks. We got the Atlanta Hawks coming up next. They also won 48 games. We're going to talk about some changes they made because they made several. And I'll talk to you all that video. Next video coming out tomorrow. Work on your game. DreAllDay.com.